246 preview episode, TCP. Sup, Crouchers? Let's get into it. We got a full week's worth of matches. Midseason Madness, final week of the qualifiers here. Some important ones for Fusion and Chengdu. Some less important ones for everybody else. There's still seeding at stake as well, especially on the NA side, where I think top teams might be seeded forward in the tournament. Not entirely sure on the rules there, but we'll figure it out as we go along. This is going to be a full seedings match week, guys.
Yeah, I think we came into last week's predictions a little lethargic, a little not necessarily looking forward to the games, and they kind of paid out pretty big. So looking forward to this week, because I think we still have some pretty big storylines to see conclude, and some pretty potentially impactful matches in other ways. So not a week to sleep on, I'd say.
We had something like 7 3-0s last week. But then we had a lot of 3-2s on the NA side, which is interesting.
Yeah.
The thing is, like, 3-0s are, I think, the most common Overwatch League score by a long shot. We have seasons where it was like half of all the results. And I will also say, if I found the feedback that I saw some people say of, like, and that's not about Harsha, but the general sentiment, like, of games that don't matter towards this situation. I'm like, my brothers in Christ, this is still for the regular season, and every game that you're playing right now counts for the playoffs. I realize that nobody can see like 5 feet past their belly button, but man, like, all of these games count towards season playoffs. And yes, maybe some people are qualified, but nobody's like outright sandbagging in order to, like, because they already qualified, right?
Yes, sir.
So teams still got to win. We talked about in the previous episode how important the Vancouver Justice game is going to be, even though both teams are out of the Midseason Madness. But there's a lot of pride on the line for those teams, and teams in terms of records as well moving forward. When Justice is trying to play for a playoff spot, I think they need every point they can get. Vancouver looking for their first ever win. That's a preview of the preview of particular praise we'll be moving towards. But why don't we get into it, gents? 246 brought to you by AVRL, Vista Bebe, Battle Crab, Refine Bean, Bronzebot Buhao, Chawe, Philadelphia's more of a stage 3 team anyway. Chris R34444, Casher67, Lolshin, Pork Chop Sammy, Rick Zane, Volamel Smooth Nuts, Your Misery, with YouTube members Ice Ham, Jello, William Jesse, Vishmam, Fireman 6, AK, and Chris R. First game on the docket, Philadelphia Fusion versus Guangzhou. Does anybody want to bat for the charge?
No.
Yeah, no. I'd love to see someone try, and I definitely.
Oh, come on! You want to go? Oh, Fusion are gonna choke. Oh, they're chokers. The fucking Mars is in Gatorade.
No. I think that, like,
on.
there's only so much ability for a team to ultra choke. I will say what I definitely expect to see is some Choicey One struggle bus performances.
True. Yeah.
Where that kid is going off again. Like, him and Farway are really in jail.
Yes.
And this kid is in jail for a second season in a row. Like,
yep.
Man, and nobody talks about it.
He is the Fleta of his generation.
Yeah.
He really is.
Yep. Maybe
Hurts to say that's pretty true, yeah.
We will look back on this and be like, man, I don't know how
somebody
whoever does this was probably getting a great deal out of this. I mean, he's probably going to cost you, but he's probably worth his weight.
Yeah. Like, let's say he was where Who Are You was in stage 1. Do you think he performs any worse?
No. He's just more valuable as well.
Wait, what do you mean? Like, he joins the Dragons in stage 1?
Yeah. Do you think they perform any worse than...
No, I don't think Dragons are any worse. No, I think Who Are You is an insane Genji, but Choice of One has also been an insane Genji, and he's never had the team to work around him to even enable him. In fact, it's more impressive that he can carry on a bad team when like his team is like dragging him down and he's still performing. Like, that's actually insane. So I'll give him that. All right, but what's your scoreline? Come on.
3-0.
What? 3-1 for me then. Lock that shit in. Let's go. And here's why. Because Charge always, and I'm going to bait people charging because I said I even predicted charge beating Hangzhou and I lost. But in my defense, they charge will still pull out one map where they look really good to bait you, and then they'll just lose.
Sure.
So I'm gonna give them that one map. There's always that one map, almost guaranteed, no matter who they play.
Yeah,
almost guaranteed. There's this one map where it just looks really good.
They
and
snuck
they'll
one over
win it,
Valiant.
and
Chengdu
then Fusion just win 3. So that's probably what's gonna happen. So 3-1 for me.
I would agree with you if the Fusion really needed that map win. Then the Charge would have definitely gotten it. Because they don't, and they just need to win, it's going to be 3-0.
Yiska, you're missing a P on the preview.
Oh,
we talked about this in the English language. It's very important, that extra letter.
It's very true.
English language is,
I mean, I feel like we're, the...
I wish the YouTube editor was a little bit easier, because I'd love to just send over like a PNG of like a crayon drawing of like a P, and then we could just put it on there for comedic effect.
I'm just saying,
alas, the tools suck.
I'm just saying, like, talking about a pre is a problem these weeks.
Chengdu versus Shanghai.
Now this one's something to sink your teeth into. I'm
hoping this is a good game.
It should be. It really should be, unless Shanghai's really coming out here guns a-blazing and put away the Hunters very quickly. I think Shanghai wins. It's just a matter of, where we sit with, how many maps Chengdu takes. I'm saying this is Shanghai in 5. Is this a double push week for APAC? No, this is a control.
Double control again. Yeah. Should be back to control now.
Yeah, I'm thinking that this is a going to game 5. I think that control is going to be a banger. I think this is going the distance. Big flashy plays, a lot of firepower. I think this, again, we talked about this in the preview or the review, whatever the fuck the last episode's called. I think Chengdu really has a good foot in the door with this meta. They have a lot of firepower. And I think this patch really supports that. But then on the other side of the table, you have the 2021 defending champions, the Shanghai Dragons, looking in top form, looking like they found their sea legs again. They're Lieutenant Dan no longer. This should be a Shanghai Dragons win.
Yeah, I mean,
Yiska?
I don't disagree. I think it's pretty straightforward here. I don't think it should be at all close. If we ascribe to the theory that they're rolling, then they're rolling now. So I don't think there are any changes to be expected there.
So what are the scores? I think Joe had 3-2. I think.
Yes.
Yeah, this is
Shanghai 5.
I kind of want to go 3-0, but I think that's a little disrespectful. I say 3-1. But AVRL wants to go 3-0.
I'm disrespectful. I'm going to go disrespectful as fuck. When I said in the last episode that I was all in the Dragons, baby, I'm all fucking in the Dragons. 3-0, baby. 3-0. Because, I don't know, unless they just forgot how to play the game between last week and this week, the form that Dragons are in is unreal.
Sure.
Just on the eye test alone. And yeah, Chengdu right now is like Dragons at home because they're playing a very similar style, relying on the ball. Gaga is just, he's playing the same shit faders. One of the big problems for Hunters is that I don't think Nisha can keep up with the flex support, whereas Lee Jae-gon is pounding on the flex support. Flitter's back in form. Flitter is going to make mincemeat of Jinmu. Lever's good, but Lip is unbelievable currently. So, yeah, to me, Shanghai have got it across the board, all 5 players. So I see no reason to even give Chengdu a map here, personally.
Fair play. 2NA.
Sad for Chengdu. It is sad for Chengdu because it means they get knocked out. But
yeah, it's a tough schedule. That one's hard.
Shanghai's too good to lose this one.
Yep.
Or Shanghai are going to match fix to get Chengdu in and prevent Lee. That'll be that.
Somebody call Isaac.
All right, New York versus Houston. I will do a. I just want to keep going 3-0. This is crazy, isn't it?
Ooh. He's got a hot streak.
Yeah, fuck it. I don't know. I just don't. I think this is like the same as Shanghai Chengdu. New York is just Houston at home. It's just like, everything Houston's doing in the same comp in the same matchup is just better.
Yep.
So I can't see a reason to give New York one here. And New York is not going to play some Lucio Moira stuff that Dallas was. So it's not like, you know, I don't. That's why I don't look at the Dallas New York result with too much conclusion, because like I feel like Dallas is just playing weird stuff. So I'll 3-0 this one. I'll keep it going.
Okay. I think I agree on a lot of those points. I think the issue is that in the mirror, I think this just inherently is very messy. And while Houston is kind of riding a high, upsetting Atlanta, being even close with them is fantastic in terms of just like a feeling perspective. But I'm feeling something with New York. I think that they're finding some ground with, you know, Gangnam Jin coming in on the Zen, looking fantastic. I think Flora had a fantastic game. Yaki looks great. They found their home with the Doomfist, and they're coming into a team that has basically kind of, I wouldn't say pioneered, but like this is, like you said, this is New York is Houston at home. And in that way, yeah, I think Houston wins, but I'm thinking this is a close one. I think New York goes the distance again, then fumbles it when it comes to I think push game 5, much like they did versus Dallas. So mirror matchup alone, I think this is a little chaotic, and I'm going to go Houston 3-2.
I feel like you're both just like in it to maximally torture New York Excelsior. Because like either it's a 3-0 stomp and it's awful for them, or it's a narrow loss again and it's awful for them.
No.
So I have to be diplomatically saying no suffering, all good feelings for the New York Excelsior.
New York wins
with a 3-1 for the Houston Outlaws.
So we've got the whole gambit. We've got a pred gambit of every color of a Houston victory.
Yes.
Love that. Love that.
I do enjoy that. That means like one of us wins no matter what.
Pretty much, yeah.
It doesn't.
Unless New York wins and we all lose. All right.
Then we're in together then.
Shocked. I'm going to keep the 3-0s rolling.
Yeah, no, it's
3-0. I'm not stopping. I ain't stopping.
I'm with you there.
Lock me in for Atlanta 3-0 versus Paris. I'm going to keep the 3-0s fucking rolling. Lock me in for Seoul 3-0 versus. It's not ending. It's not ending. We're just going to 3-0 the whole way. All right, you guys go now.
Yeah, I know this is a 3-0. I'm not about to. Toronto, you're getting throttled.
This is a 3-0, and there's a non-zero chance that Proper will have like a Hisu head replica mounted on his wall, just like for the sake of it. It won't be pretty.
Oh my god!
It's a replica in a video game. 3-0
on a spike.
Okay.
Next,
Atlanta, Paris.
Any Paris believers? Hey, Joe, you're the biggest Paris believer.
I am
on this
a
podcast.
Paris believer.
You're the biggest Paris believer.
I am a little Paris simp. I'll give him a map. Oh,
you're so generous. You're the
I know.
nicest person.
I know. I like what I'm seeing. I really think they can get it across the line. It's double control, or it's double push. Atlanta are not very good on push. We've seen them on push before. They do get behind themselves quite a bit. So yeah, I think Paris comes out. They take push again, putting some wind in their sails. But who's the better team across the board? It's Atlanta. I mean, they're not. Paris is not winning this game. It would be a astronomical, like, for Paris to win. I feel like Atlanta would have to be so boomed from the Houston loss that like Gators in, like that, like they have to be. Something crazy would have to happen, like some bone back situation where like Gators playing flex support now because of unforeseen reasons, or you know, God knows what, for Paris to like really have a chance. But I think they're good enough to kind of take Atlanta to their limits on their varsity mode.
Why did Boneback play?
Yiska, would you like to explain? Speaking of.
I mean, they have a double flex support shortage. They were like, my understanding is like they were like backbone is like, you know, I can play Zen. Okay, let's try. Then they try, and it worked. And admittedly, it also worked in play, right?
They're gonna need to teach Admiral how to play this, because it's like to me, expected that main support should be able to play this now.
It did work.
The
It
main
did work in
support-
play.
Yeah.
That's true.
Well, main supports should be expected to at least have one flex support in their pool now.
Yes.
The main supports have been eaten good. They've had it too easy in the past, you know. Like, oh, I'm just going to one-trick Lucios. Nope. I have to learn some shit now. You're going to have to actually learn to play some heroes. Okay.
Yep.
Next. Valiant Soul. Got any believers? I already locked in my 3-0.
Yeah, it's a 3-0.
Believers in here?
Soul looking like a front runner candidate, depending on who you ask. I think Shanghai is definitely up there as well. Soul putting up the stars. I think this is a team, a region leader versus the Valiant, who are doing great with what they have.
You guys remember when Valiant took Soul to 5 in Kickoff Clash?
I do.
Man, those were the times.
Dark times. Those the struggles, the troubles. That was
The darkest dungeon.
that was weird.
Yiska?
Honestly.
3-1 Soul.
Oh,
Giving them a map. Okay, I'm here for it. The Sasha believer.
No hill season. Let's go.
Yeah.
Okay. What, like Dia just pops off really hard one map and that's it? Like, you know.
Yeah, I think there's
forces them to
also.
win a map.
Yeah, I think like there's also. You know, like Soul doesn't necessarily have to try; they just need to win. And I feel like they've already been
fuck around.
fucked around a little bit, you know, like rotating Fitz and Stalker. I also think like the Valiant have been historically pretty good at getting maps off pretty big teams. So yeah, I don't hate that.
A completely different team.
Vindame just plays Sojin, Fitz plays Mercy. I love it.
Mr. Heroes time.
I think if Valiant do just rely on the Dia Widowmaker to carry them through, he's gonna get introduced to Smurf Winston sitting on his ass the entire game. So yeah. That being said, Dia did look pretty good versus even Shanghai. You know, there were moments there, you know, Dia kind of just randomly got a couple of picks that put Valiant into a fight lead. Anyway, Hangzhou versus Chengdu, bro. Save Dia. Put Dia, Choi Se-hwan on a new team. Hangzhou, Chengdu. Ooh.
This one's
a tough one, guys. Shit.
A firework of a game. This is coming in quick and probably leaving a little sooner than we'd hope. I'm gonna say this is Chengdu 3-1. I think Spark. I think Cheyenne Co do some work, but I like what I'm seeing from Hunters. I think in terms of form across this stage, both teams are trending down a little bit, but I think Hunters are stemming the bleeding a little bit better.
Hangzhou are trending down and Chengdu are trending up, if anything.
I think coming out with a 3-2 versus Seoul and like a 3-1 victory, like I felt like they started at a high and like they're slowly plateauing, but I wouldn't say maybe trending down is too aggressive, but like there is a small dip. I think taking Seoul to 5 is very impressive. And then, you know, beating the Charge, beating Valiant, it doesn't have the same, you know, to use Yiska's favorite word, it doesn't have the same mouthfeel. The qualia isn't there, so I'll say that they're stemming out a little bit. Spark, on the other hand, I don't know about them. Looking a little too DPS led, which isn't bad. But
for the maximum pain, after losing to Shanghai, I'm going to give this win to Chengdu.
Yeah.
And now they can be upset about losing to Seoul earlier, knowing that was super winnable, and that had they beaten Seoul, they probably would have made it into the Midseason Madness against all odds.
Yep.
So I give it to Chengdu here, but I'm gonna do it in more like a 3-2. I think these teams are pretty close. The 3-0 Barons turned around and giving 3-2s now. Shy Sojin is still just elite. Alpha Yi's a better tracer than Jinmu. But there's
Yes,
stuff on the
yes.
tank and support line that I enjoy more from the Hunters. So there we go.
Yeah.
a preseason rookie team is feasting.
Yeah, I think I have to go with Spark as well. I think that's just like, yeah.
I went with Chengdu.
Yeah, nobody's going Spark.
Oh,
just
really?
saying.
You went Chengdu? Oh, sorry. Then I misheard. No, I think this is Spark.
Okay.
I think like trends, schmens, you know, Also, thank you for teaching me like what apparently my favorite word is. Mouthfeel.
Is it not? Am I wrong?
Mouth what?
I said mouthfeel, and then I said qualia. Just to make sure that everybody's on the same page.
I generally say the haptic attributes of food, where it's like.
I hate you.
Where like people have been trying to convince me that chips on sandwiches is a good idea. And I'm not having anything.
That's like shit for kids. That's like stuff that you do when you're like 6.
Thank you. Yeah. Or if you're
it's
British.
Not actually that great. I mean, their cuisine. I mean, they put beans on toast, for God's sake. Like, come on.
I'm linking the timestamp to this in Mel's channel, just so you know.
Please do. Yes, Mel.
Just given it's pretty, and I'm so confused.
I'm going 3-2 Spark. Where like it's like,
listen, me and Mel get along. We probably have similar taste in music. Like, look, just because I dislike how their culture, appreciates food, doesn't mean that we can't get along. We're kindred spirits in some ways.
She doesn't listen to only anime songs. Like that's not. Anyway. By the way, if you guys don't notice, like when Joe's like just jamming out, it's always an anime opening. Just like
recently, it has been for the OGs. It used to be a lot of K-pop, so let that be known. That's not all I listen to though. I've been on a classical music kick.
Same difference.
So okay. Anyways, should we get to the next 3-0?
Ooh, what is it?
Shanghai Charge.
Okay, it's a 3-0. Next.
AVRL.
Yeah, look, if I give Shanghai a 3-0 versus Chengdu, there is no world where I can give Guangzhou a map here. Like it can't be possible. That it would be I've already been disrespectful by giving Chengdu 0 there. It would be hella disrespectful to Chengdu again if I give Guangzhou 1 here. So I can't do the double disrespect. The single is enough for me.
It might be fun though. Just spit in everyone's.
No, it's not fun to just like throttle all these bad teams. Like,
take play, come on.
No, listen, you engage in take play enough. All right.
Okay.
Spark spreading.
What's the next game?
We're coming into Saturday morning, or I guess afternoon in North America with the Vancouver Titans and the Washington Justice. We talked about this in the review of last week. Kind of highlighting it as a match to maybe keep your eye on. AVRL where do you kind of sit with this? Is this Titans getting it done? Is there a world where they beat the Justice?
There is. I've locked this as a 3-2 Justice.
Oh.
That I think is also very winnable for Vancouver.
All right.
But I think Justice are the better team here and should be expected to win here. And again, this is the one. And for context, by the way, and I can prove this via my pickems directly. I actually went 3-2 London over Justice recently, and that ended up being the actual result. So I actually had that one on lock. Because I felt like London were starting to become better than a mid-table team, and Justice are a mid-table team. Whereas this one is more like Justice being a mid-table team playing a low-tier team, or like a bottom-table team. And but it's a bottom table team that's coming up, and it's a mid table team on the way down. So maybe they meet each other in the middle for a 3-2. Is where I'm landing.
Okay. Yiska?
I think this is close. Yeah, I want to say 3-1, but I think it's actually probably coming down to the wire.
Okay.
And I'm struggling between a close 3-1 or a close 3-2.
Well, while you think, I'm of the school of thought that it's a close 3-1. I think Titans really show their mettle. I think they show a lot of the improvement. That the strength of schedule at the stage has been hard to see. I think you see that in the Justice game, but Justice should be enough to put them away.
Yeah, I'm going 3-2. I think it's reasonably close.
Okay. Now this is one that I haven't even predded yet. I have sat on my hands with this one. I can't even figure out where I want to go with this. I'll help you out.
Take Pretz from
Please do.
God. That's an easy one.
We'll see. We'll see what happens. I think we're gonna have to do some due diligence. Pred to God.
Okay.
Come at the end of the season.
I mean, I can just tell you the result if you're right.
Yeah, of course you can. Yeah, you do read the stars because that's just what you do. You little tea leaf reader. We have Houston Outlaws.
Do you want to be disrespectful, or do you want me to tell you the correct score?
whatever sticks out to you, whichever card in your little tarot deck calls to you.
Right.
Which team here, Houston or Boston?
How's that a question? I don't think it's close. I think that's a 3-1 Houston.
Okay. I think we tend to differ, but AVRL, where do you kind of sit with this? Is there a world where is this as decisive as Yiska makes it seem?
Is that Doomnuff? I don't know.
Result again. Go. What was your result again?
Houston.
I go 3-1 Houston. I think I have too much hopium in Boston to. I think Houston are the better team, but I have too much hopium in Boston to see them go down 0-3.
Yeah.
I can't do it.
Here's a real shit take. Come on, listen to some bubble pop and then.
No, I have to go 3-2. I think you can't really vote against Houston, but I do think that Boston is doing something. I think they've got something cooking. I think the way that they play pushes were weird. Could throw Houston off, even though I think they have the better style. I really did like what I liked what I saw out of Victoria in particular, as somebody who came off a week that was pretty quiet. I think he ended that Florida game on a massive high. So I think they're taking Houston close, but it's tough to argue against the consistency that Houston has, especially coming off an upset versus Atlanta. So coming in with a little bit of a tailwind. Ending out Saturday for North America, we've got Florida versus the Los Angeles Gladiators. Is there a world? Is there any way that Florida can kind of squeak it over? Is there hope?
Not squeak it over?
No squeak.
Way.
It's just squeaky clean for Glad.
They had to reverse sweep Boston. This ain't happening. But I have enough respect to give Florida one, so I go 3-1 Glads.
Ditto. Yiska.
3-0 Glads.
Ooh, little Baron. Little 3-0 Baron.
The fucking disrespect.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying Florida isn't a decent team,
sure,
but I think Gladiators are still. I feel like it's almost like we're sleeping a little bit on them now. It's for no reason they're suddenly not talked about as a favorite for this upcoming tournament. Why?
They are a favorite. Can I give you my justification?
Sure.
Right.
Gladiators always randomly lose these one maps. They drop the map to Paris, drop the map to Toronto, drop the map to Washington. They always fucking randomly drop a map. So I don't feel comfortable giving them a 3-0 because they're just not clean enough to consistently get 3-0s. They're just not.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
Yeah, fair enough.
Ditto. Same. All right. Coming into Sunday, starting off with APAC. We've got the double point game of the week. Ring the alarms. Sound the bell. It's Seoul Dynasty versus Philadelphia. I was very confused for a second, but then understood where that was going.
Ring the bell. Ring the alarm.
Not the file alarm.
So Seoul, Philly. How do we sit with this, AVRL? APAC man.
I like to go last on APACs because I don't want to influence you guys. No,
right.
Shit. Let me take a look. You guys go. I'm gonna take a look at where my. Okay, I know what I got now.
I think this is Seoul. I think this is Seoul 3-1. I respect Philly enough to probably squeak in one. I think Seoul are hands and fists over the best team, right? I think they're with Shanghai, maybe shoulder to shoulder, leading the region. So it's hard to pret against them. But I think Philly is good for one. I think they're good enough to be competitive and maybe squeak one over the board.
I think there's even a world where this is just in typical Philly fashion, this will be a close match for no inexplicable reason. And it will probably also not even be displayed through sheer and utter dominance on Friday against the Charge. I feel the thing is, there's a world where they need to win this one by the time it happens.
Yeah. Excuse me.
I'm still going 3-2 Seoul.
Oh, 3-2. All right.
I went 3-1.
Okay.
I think Fusion are a good enough team to take one, but there are just two. Soul have been better than Fusion this entire way through. I don't see that changing currently. But I respect Fusion enough that I think they're good enough to take a map here.
Yeah.
But overall, I mean, it might even just be a 3-0, but let's just say it's a 3-1, I think.
That's fair. Closing out.
Valiant Spark?
Yeah. That one's...
You know what? I'm going to be spicy.
Ooh.
3-2 Spark. I think Valiant are gonna be fucking
all right,
punching some fellas. I think they're gonna come in swinging. They're not gonna win, but they're gonna come in swinging.
I'll give them 1. Two's a little bit too spicy for me. You know, I can't do a lot of spice. My palate is a weak boy. So I'll give them 1. I'll give Valiant 1. I'll go with 3-1 Spark. I think again, big explosive meta. You have Shy, you have Alpha Yi. They're fantastic. LA's got some punching power, but it's not enough to put away the Spark. Disillusioned German man, what is your prediction?
I want to engage into take play.
You want to engage in take play? Get out the ball gag. Get out the puppy mask, quick. Because that's what you need after we talk about ball gags and puppy masks is you moaning into the microphone. Thank you. Apologies to the
You made it weird.
listeners.
You made it weird.
No. This is exactly what you would do. This is from your book of tricks.
Like, pretty weird that you can run perverted Yiska in emulation in your mind. Like, you should get that checked out.
It's almost like it's pretty. It's almost like I've spent the last 5 years, with you.
Right. Yeah.
Weird that.
Just imagining how I am in my private life, I guess.
I think it's ditto, vice versa. So, what's your flipping prediction?
Oh, nah, you gotta go Spark, man. I want to go Valiant, just randomly out of the blue.
So do it. What's wrong with that? Pick Valiant.
You're enticing me.
If you don't, I
You're
will.
serving my kink.
I'm gonna do it.
Okay, I'm going
Better
Spark
hurry up.
in order to not be the.
Okay. Then I'll pred Valiant 3-2. Just for meme's sake.
I'm going 3-1, by
I
the
think
way.
Easy Hanadia come out and they fucking lay the smack down. There you go. It's no hill season, baby. Last 2 games of NA. If there's nothing else with APAC to comment on, we start with the London Spitfire and the Dallas Fuel. 2 teams, maybe on opposing scales of things. AVRL, is this still London continuing the streak?
No, I go Dallas here.
Okay.
And it's because I trust the veterans here, Dallas, to understand how to play versus what London brings to the table. It's it should be pretty clear how London like to play, what they want to play, and how they're going to do it.
Yeah.
Even though Dallas ran the stupid Lucio Moria stuff, I mean, they should have gotten a wake-up call versus New York to be like, you know what, this is not good. You should maybe not do this. I would like to believe that Russia's smart enough to recognize that and change gears. That's what I'm banking on. I'm banking on some mad Dallas hopium that they know what they're doing. They're veteran enough to know how to beat London.
I'm mad at that. Yiska, are you fearing for your DMs or are you getting an interview? Which one?
I mean, in both cases, I'm just getting it. This is it's a no Yiska win situation.
Sure.
Sheesh. This is sincerely close.
Yeah, I think so.
I gotta go Fuel, man. I keep doing it. I'm sorry, but like this time I feel justified because it's Fuel after all. Still,
I get it. I see your pun. You're not funny. Shut up.
Which pun?
Justified. Lol.
Oh, that's in your brain, in your evil one. The one that goes to the polls.
Yeah. All right. I have my absentee ballot sitting next to me. Thank you very much, and it's all filled out. And not the way that you think. So, anywho, I'm going London here. I think that the streak is going to continue. I think they've got some hot hands. I'm not keen on the whole Lucio Moira stuff. Said as much on Twitter. I think they have it within them to make this very close. I think I respect them too much to write them off completely. So I think this is a 3-2 London where they squeak it out in the end. Because it is double push, if memory serves. Yeah, this is double push week coming in for NA. And I think both those maps aren't horrible for the style that London wants to play. And Dallas, I think they're still trying to find their feet. So started from different bars and London's rolling. So I'm going to give it to them. But last game, New York, Boston. Double point for NA. Ring the bells, the alarms. If you want to slap those again, AVRL, be my guest.
I'm going to say real quick that this should be the first like real big test for London, right? When you look at their played matches, they've played this stage, Mayhem, Toronto, New York, Paris, Washington. And the best team in that list is what, Toronto?
Probably.
Yeah. So it's like or Florida, it doesn't fucking matter. The point is, like, the best team is still like a top middle table team.
Yeah.
Not a top NA team, but top middle, like an upper middle.
It's a joke, yeah.
Whereas now you're going to be playing like an actual top level team in Dallas. Even though Dallas are like the bottom of the top table, that's still a top table team.
Yeah.
So, you know, this will be the first. They're going to get tested. And if you want to look at it from a certain perspective, it's like, bro, if it wasn't for the Washington Rhine mirror, maybe Washington would have been there too.
Yeah.
So looking at it from that lens, I'm like, I find it hard to believe London will beat Dallas, right? That's my justification.
I think that's more than fair. I think they have a lot of their resume. They have a lot of veterancy, like you said. So it's a bold one. It's a spicy one, but we'll have to see.
Boston, New York.
This is right.
Let me take a look at my pred thing again. I go Boston 3-2.
Ooh.
For them, double points, baby.
I have this going Boston's way as well, but I've got this 3-1. And the justification is somehow this team is going to underperform. I think that I give a lot of like credit to kind of review the Preds for me a little bit. Like Houston, New York, it's a stylistic thing. I think it's going to be a little chaotic, so I think Houston maybe can like get lost in it a little bit, and New York look a little bit more, they look improved. Whereas against Boston, I think since kickoff clash, they have been very measured in the way they approach the game. They kind of are weirdly stylistic on some of these maps, especially push. So I think that's probably going to kind of like be accentuated against New York, a team that like seems to be very comfortable with the Doom. Boston has a little bit more flexibility, a little bit more, wide in terms of their styles. So I think this one's a little bit more decisive, whereas against Houston, it's more of just a matchup thing.
See, I disagree. I think I saw, like, I feel like NYXL might have just, like, found what they needed. I'm intrigued by their Callan solutions. Is Hoan available?
No.
Not yet? Okay. No, I'm going 3-2 NYXL.
Okay.
Not a Boston believer, huh?
Not much.
Okay.
Oh, I'm here for it. I think again after that Dallas game, I think it could have been a fuse lit for a New York comeback. I think they might be coming back in late in the season, but maybe there's something there. It's worth paying attention to. Not a complete write-off game.
Come on. You want to?
Who? What?
Who?
Didn't you, Avril? Did you already say what you?
Yeah, I went 3-2 Boston.
Oh, right.
Mm-hmm.
I trust Boston,
Okay.
man. I'm on the train. I'm on the Hopium train. We got the punk. We got Valentine.
Yeah, that's the point. I was about to go in on you because I was like, what if you suddenly realize that Punk is actually not Australian but has an American passport, which he does, and you should actually feel no allegiance.
I've known this whole time. What are you
close
talking
enough.
about? Like,
No. Just making you aware again. If that moves anything inside of you, that might change the result to the correct side of the argument. You know.
I think
To New York.
I can't because because Dallas did such a weird shit versus New York. I just can't read into that 3-2 with any real, conclusion of like how that's going to impact anything else, because I just don't think other teams are going to fall for that and play Lucio and Moira. I just don't. Boston's not going to come out and play Lucio Moira.
I will
Also,
remember
Crimso's
this.
been fucking insane. Crimso's been so good.
Yeah.
So like even with Gangnam Jin like coming in now, it's like, yeah, but Crimso, holy shit, let's go, baby.
Yeah. Okay. We'll see. I won't be obnoxious about this at all.
Oh god, this guy's speaking in a way that makes it seem like he's got some insider info.
No, I don't.
Like he knows that both Victoria and Valentine broke their hands or something. He's not sharing.
Bro, don't just wait. Cookie's coming in, and it's gonna be transcendental. This team is going to level the fuck up with their coach playing. Don't worry, it's nuts.
Why are you doing me dirty, Eric? It's not fair. Yeah, no, I think it's about time this team catches a fucking break, man. I think that's the break.
All right.
And maybe it's because of Gangnam Jinon's flex support. You know, like maybe I can both be right and wrong at the same time.
Then do you get to be obnoxious then? I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe not.
No, I mean, I don't care.
Okay.
The Yiska that said that Gangnam Jin couldn't play flex support is further in the past than the one that believes in him.
Okay.
So I identify more with the Yiska of
So
the near
you
future,
understand that
past?
the Yiska of the past is wrong. Is that what I'm hearing?
I mean, there's always one Yiska of the past that's wrong. It's about the
That's
pivot.
true.
It's about like, there's a new best team in the league.
If only you could have held that same mystique after calling me Lord for an entire season. That was just shucks.
How is Sasin, by the way? How is he? Is he the worst tank?
Oh, not playing.
Yeah, I mean, currently no, but like sometimes.
Oh yeah, because the sometimes tank is not the worst performing main tank in the league. Yeah, okay, sounds good. That's fine.
Yeah,
that's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, we smashed through it today.
Yeah,
we just went right through.
Yep.
Got him.
Man, how do you guys feel? Like, do you guys feel a little bit burned out at this point? In terms of like the amount of matches? I feel like I'm feeling a little bit of the churn, and I'm looking forward to the tournament for sure, but I'm also looking forward to getting resetting and like getting excited again about matches.
Sure.
And part of it is
because these matches don't even matter anymore, because the qualification's basically done.
Yeah.
We're just playing for seeding now. That's why this upcoming week feels less important outside of the Chengdu fusion stuff, right? Everything else just kind of feels not significant.
Yeah.
But also, realistically speaking, as far as esports leagues go, you're not, most fans aren't expected to follow like all the regions. You follow your one region, that's it.
Yeah.
Unless you're like a hardcore fan, like a mega super fan that's following everything.
Yeah.
So
it's
probably more exhausting if you're trying to follow two regions at the same time. And then in the final week when, qualifications are already set in stone. But yeah.
For sure.
Well, guys, a lot to look forward to.
Mm-hmm.
And then the mid-season games after that, next time we talk will be mostly, I don't even know if there's going to be that much to review. I don't know if any more drama will happen.
Probably.
I'm actually hoping for less drama. I'm getting kind of tired of it, honestly.
Yeah.
That's fine.
And more so, I'm just looking forward to talking about the mid-season tournament because next week, hopefully, we'll be able to actually look at a bracket and just go through all that kind of stuff, talk about some NAEU. I think a big talking point next week will be, all right, let's get nitty-gritty, get our hands dirty with the NA versus versus APAC discussion. Let's see how that goes.
Yes, sir.
All righty.
Good.
246 signing out. Thank you so much for joining us. See y'all next week.